Here's how to make your first $10,000 as an inspiring entrepreneur. And yes, you've never seen my face, and that's because I've never gone viral before. My name's Alex Davis. I've made over $100,000 entirely online, and I've been hiding in the shadows, perfecting my craft over the last couple of years so that when I make videos, they blow up. They help you guys get your first client, make your first 10 grand, so that you can do things like travel the entire country essentially for free. That's what I've been doing over the last year. I just moved into this apartment all the way from New York to Arizona, and I've been connecting with the biggest minds, the biggest entrepreneurs that this internet has to offer, figuring out the keys of success. So here's how you're gonna make your first 10K. The first thing you need to do is shift your mind from going from a 9-to-5 employee mindset to being the employer, the person who writes the checks, the person who stands across the table and collects the money. Now, I mean this because most of you guys were trained to believe that it's going to college, getting a 9-to-5 job, going into the corporate rat race that is going to ultimately make you the money that you want to make. But I'm here to tell you guys that most of the world that's wealthy, that holds the most amount of wealth, doesn't do that at all. Matter of fact, they just start companies. They're usually B, C, D students in high school, in college, and most of them don't even go to college. And that's what I'm saying, is shifting your mindset from the 9-to-5 employee to the employer. And the only way you're going to do that is by inputting new stuff into your brain, watching videos like this, reading books, listening to podcasts. The first year in business, when I was 17 years old, all I did was learn. I literally read 150 self-help books, listened to thousands of hours of Lewis Howes' School of Greatness, Grant Cardone's Cardone Zone, and a bunch of other podcasts to fuel my brain so that I could think different. And if you don't want to do either of those, what I would say is get in proximity with people who act and think and believe different things than you. Because the truth is, there are people that are literally just doing different stuff, making different kinds of money, and you have been stuck up here your entire life. We are who we surround ourselves with. And if you've been surrounded by your parents who are broke, your friends who complain, then that is who you're going to become one day. So this video is your first step in the right direction, right? So the first phase is shifting your mind. Just spending the time inputting new stuff. If all you do all day long is scroll on TikTok, listen to the news, listen to your friends complain about gossip and drama, then that ultimately is going to output into your life some way or another, and you're not going to make the money that you want to make. Because the truth is, I could tell you everything you need to do, and I could tell you in 2 seconds. Reach out to 100 people a day, cold call them, and tell them, hey, look, I'm an entrepreneur, I would love to build your website for free. That script and calling 100 people, doing that every single day will make you $100,000. That's what I did. Phase number 2. If you read the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, it's super simple foundational belief system on self-help. He talks about setting a goal that is so high and so extraneous that it's very hard to visualize it and capture it, but it's going to push you in directions that you never imagined. So when I was 17, I read the Think and Grow Rich book by Napoleon Hill. And in it, he says that, and I realized to myself that there's 100 days left of my high school career. I have 100 days between tomorrow morning and June 1st, on when I graduate, where I'm gonna be in high school. And from that point forward, I'm gonna be off into the college world. So what am I gonna do? In 100 days, I wanna make $1 million. That's what I told myself. So I had 100 days now to make $1 million. I had no contacts, no skill sets. I lived in a small town with less than 100 people. I had no opportunity. I didn't even know what business was. I just had been reading a bunch of books, hoping and praying that money was gonna fall out of the sky. I had no link in my brain to what I needed to do to make money, but I just knew that if I had a big enough goal, I could figure it out. So I committed. I wrote in my journal, 100 days to make $1 million. And this forced me to be in proximity around the right stuff. Because the next morning when I woke up, I opened up my podcast app at 5 a.m. to listen to my podcast for the morning, and Grant Cardone popped up. First time in my life I ever heard his name. And he was being interviewed by Lewis Howes about his 90 days to make $1 million challenge, which was insane because literally the night before I said I wanted to make $1 million in 100 days, and the universe outputted a blueprint for me to do that. It's called Undercover Billionaire. And in that show, Grant Cardone starts a marketing company. He goes all the way from Miami to Pueblo, Colorado to start over with no contacts, no money, start in a small town, which is literally the situation I'm in, to show the American population that you can literally make $1 million in 90 days. The only difference between Grant Cardone and Alex Davis is Grant Cardone has 4,000 units of real estate. He has a lot of years of experience in marketing and sales, and Alex Davis was 17 years old with nothing. So I tried my best to figure it out and get around the right people and find the players in my town who actually had money and contacts, and I started a little marketing company, and that failed. And then I started a cryptocurrency which made $3 million in 3 days, and then that failed. And then I even started a tech company with Grant Cardone. and that failed. I made $0 that year. I didn't even succeed in the $1 million to 100 days challenge. But what it did was it shifted who I became as a person to work different, think different, surround myself with different people. During that phase, I even published 4 books to Amazon. And I still had not made a single dollar in business. But that's when Alex Hormozi popped into my head. He had published a book called $100 Million Offers, which was on Amazon for free. All my friends were ranting and raving about him in the business community, and they were saying that if I didn't read this book, I'd be poor. And in the book, Alex Hormozi says the only way you're gonna make money is if you make offers to people. If you make an offer that is so good that people feel stupid to say no to, which means that if I said to you, I'm gonna get you your first client in business in less than 30 days, and if I don't, I'm gonna work with you for free until you get there. Low risk, you're gonna get a reward, and it's gonna happen pretty quick. It's an offer that you feel stupid to say no to. And so at that moment, I dropped out of college, I went back to that small little town, and I started over. After trying 8 different businesses, publishing 4 books to Amazon, starting a podcast with Alpha M and a bunch of other big celebrity entrepreneurs, I was starting over from zero. And I had 30 days to make it. So I went to this little tiny coffee shop in my small town with another aspiring entrepreneur, and he changed the game for me because now I knew what an offer was. So I told him about offers and he told me about leads. He handed me a lead list with 750 YouTubers, the biggest YouTubers that existed on the planet that had not yet been monetized. So our offer was now going to be, we're going to monetize YouTubers in 60 days or less, otherwise they'll get a full refund. Pretty sick. How are we gonna do it? I was gonna take their long form content, break it up into shorts and post it 2 a day, 60 videos a month for $2,000. That was what I was gonna do. So he told me if I went home and emailed every single person on this list, which by the way, this is the way that all of you guys are gonna stay broke or you're gonna break out and actually make it. I needed to go home and email every single person on this list to make money. So I went ahead, I went home and I started emailing every single person. I'd write an individualized email for every person on that list. And by the 70th email, 1 person replied. His YouTube channel was Sensei. And at the time he had 300,000 subscribers. He said he wanted to hop on a meeting with me. It was like 8 or 9 at night. I went up into my 3rd floor room, my office at the time. I hopped on, sent him a Zoom link, and I just talked to him. I was shaking. He didn't even have his camera on. I was just like, hey, I'm gonna take your long form videos and make them into shorts and it's gonna be $2,000. How does that sound? Yeah, bro, totally, let's do it. Let's do it. But what about the money? Oh yeah, I got you, bro. As long as you get me results, we're chilling. Okay, I guess, yeah, let's do it. Just send me your login, send me your... So I hang up the Zoom and now I had my first client. So I went out on Fiverr on Upwork, found a $750 editor named Braden, hired him to do all the edits for this guy. I was gonna profit $1,250, make super quick money because I had an editor now, and I even used some of that money to go ahead and hire a virtual assistant because there were still 750 people on that list that needed to be reached out to. But now I collected it in my brain. If I reached out to every single person the way I reached out to Sensei, more people would say yes. And that's exactly what happened. It had taken me 3 years to bridge the gap from $0 to $1 cash collected. And it took me 3 days to go from $1 to $4,250 cash collected. And that was the mindset shift. Outreach. It's the 3rd chapter of this video and the most crucial thing for you to realize. The only way in business that you are going to make money is if a person pays you. And the only way they're going to pay you is if they know about you and they want your stuff, which is an offer. But if you don't have offers and you don't have leads, you're going to be broke forever. And I'm serious about this because I was broke too. I spent 3 years reading books, trying and failing at business, building websites and logos and YouTube channels and posting content for free and doing all this dumb stuff that I thought would actually move the needle forward. Cold showers, cold bath, cold plunges, meditations, biking for 10. Dude, I even biked 100 miles in one day thinking that it would make me money somehow because somebody named David Goggins said you gotta push your mind and stay hard, and I was freaking hard to make money and I was fucking broke. It was at that moment when I started doing outreach that I realized that all I needed to do was reach out to 100 people a day. Whether it's email, direct message, cold call, I needed to reach out to 100 people a day. Every day for the rest of my life. Post 100 videos a month, do 100 emails a day, and I was set. From that moment forward, I was good. Except all my clients left the 2nd month because my offer sucked. I said that I was gonna get people monetized. And what ended up happening is a lot of people were spending $2,000 a month, and it takes a long time, guys, to grow on social media if you guys don't know. So that offer sucked. All my clients left, but I knew the ticket. I knew how to make money now. All I needed to do was keep doing outreach. So during the process of me getting these 4 or 5 clients in the beginning, what I ended up doing was starting a little tiny Facebook group. This Facebook group disappeared into the shadows. I kind of forgot about it. Went back to college, started learning about business and accounting and marketing and actually getting around people that thought differently than me. And all of a sudden, I realized something. I could probably do this for the rest of my life and be okay. As a matter of fact, a lot of those guys at college saw the success that I had in business and they wanted to learn from me too. People were like, how'd you build that? How'd you start a marketing agency? How'd you actually make money? And I realized that if you know something 20% better than somebody else, you can actually monetize the spread between the discrepancy of where they are and where they want to be, because you currently are where they want to be. And a lot of people have never made money in their entire life, and I could teach them how to get their first client. I could teach them how to get their first client. And that's when the first client was born. I decided to drop out of college again for a second time, move all the way to Florida on a whim with 3 days worth of notice. And I was going to start an online company called The First Client, where I would teach people how to get their first client. I checked the Facebook group after months of not looking at it and had gained 5,000 members. And I hadn't even known about it. But now I had 5,000 new leads and I had an offer. An offer plus leads, you're making money. So I reached out to all 5,000 people, 100 people a day. So it would take how many days? If I'm reaching out to 100 a day, it would take me 50 days to reach out to all 5,000. And it's funny because today there's 7,900 people in that private Facebook group, and it's basically taken me 80 days to reach out to every single one of them. They all know me. I've reached out to every single one of them. Some of them are even watching this YouTube video. Most of them have paid me. So the truth is from the moment forward, I had a marketing agency that made about $4,250 cash collected. And then I taught people how to get their first client. And people were getting a bunch of results because they were doing exactly what I did back then. And then on top of it, I started teaching people how to get their first client, but I was making money from the coaching. People would pay me. I would teach them how to make money. They would make money. Those people that they signed on to do certain things like website logos, YouTube thumbnails, short form content, I had skills and I had contractors that would actually go ahead and input into their business to help them out. So then they're making money. My contractors are making money. I'm making money. Everyone's winning. All tides raise all ships. So to recap for you guys so that you guys can remember what to do, if you guys have an offer and if you guys have leads, you will make money. But the place that you need to start is not with offers and leads. As much as it sounds nice to just go straight for it and do Facebook ads and do SMMA and WFA and all these business models, you're talking about upper level skill sets. But you need to become a person with a foundation that is steady enough and strong enough as a business owner to weather the 3 years of you not making a single dollar, collecting all the information from YouTube. Because the truth is, like, everything you've ever needed to do, everything you've ever needed to know is on the platform that you're watching this video on. All of it. It's either on my channel, Alex Hormozi's channel, Grant Cardone's channel. But you have to go out and consume the knowledge, organize the knowledge, and use the knowledge. And if you don't know how to do any of that, and you don't become the person that is able to weather all of the time that's going to take for you to do that, then it's going to be very difficult for you to actually get success. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up 3 spots. I'm going to leave my number right here, 315-767-3199. I'm going to help 3 people sign their very first client. But the truth is if you watch the videos on my channel and all those other guys I just mentioned, you're going to make money. You just can't quit. I hope you guys like this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.